this is Dad Random, and I have got a little help tutorial for you right now. Had a little bit of problems just the last couple of days with SD cards and the Fimi Palm. Now, I'm going to walk through a step-by-step set of instructions for you if you ever have your camera freeze up in the middle of an update, because there's no instructions out there to fix this except for these. Now, if you get in the middle of an update and your camera freezes, there's really nothing you can do at that point but just hope. And more than likely you had a disconnection or something of that sort. Now, if you go to try to flash the firmware, it might not work for you. So what you need to do is this. Get a fresh SD card or take out your SD card from your Fimi Palm. Find an online program, and there are several SD card formatter programs. Let me just show you this one right here. This is just a generic SD card formatter program. You're going to need something like this, okay? And you just double click on it. And it'll say, yeah, you want to format an SD card. Hopefully there. And this menu right here will pop up. You'll select your card and do a long format, okay? Once you get your long format done, once it says, hey, I'm formatted, take your SD card, put it back into your adapter, go on, get the flash firmware, and the flash firmware looks like, it's the bottom one right there, and it says Fimi Palm Camera Flash Firmware version 1118.01. Okay, download that firmware directly onto your SD card and then extract it. Once you get that all finished, take your SD card, put it back in your Fimi Palm, and then follow the flash firmware instructions. Basically, I can talk you through it really quick, but you hold down both the joystick and the red function button together. You release the red function button about a couple of seconds into holding down both buttons. Holding down the joystick button. Just keep the joystick button held down. They say about 10 seconds. After about 10 seconds, just count to yourself, release the joystick button. Just release it up, and it talks you through that point. So you can actually watch this video. Let me go ahead and show you which video I'm talking about. It's this video right here. So follow that flash firmware video. So those instructions are correct at that time, and then it should boot up for you. So the problem is there was maybe a file corruption that occurred in the flash drive. And if that happens, you're going to have to reformat the card. So when you stick it in the camera, it's going to look at it as a fresh card. It's going to go, hey, what is this? Because it's not formatted. And what that does is it boots the camera up. It tells the camera to do something other than whatever error it's in the middle of. More than likely, it's stuck in some kind of strange kind of a firmware loop. So by reformatting the card, it doesn't recognize the card right away. Thus, it reads it, which is pretty interesting. Anyways, that worked for me. Let me know if that occurs. I will give you some of the lessons I've learned. But that can happen. I've only had it happen with this camera. Remember, when you're done and you get the camera uploaded, check. Go into the camera settings. Make sure you have the current firmware updated, including the latest gimbal update. Once you have all that set up, you should be good to go. Your camera should function. It should start out at the, hey, what language do you want it to speak? So it should basically reset the camera. So, hey, and after this reset, you should have all these new frame rates. You should have 24 and I think 48 frames per second frame rates as this is finished. So, all right, for Dad Random, I hope that helps you out a little bit. It helped me out for that working, because I was pretty much screwed. It was not working at all. But that should solve your problem if you ever get where your camera basically freezes up on you in the middle of an update. Now, when I was updating from the app, and I was right next to Wi-Fi, and it died. So, all right, but we're up in operation. Fimi Palm's working again. Yes, dead random, if you have trouble with your Fimi Palm, this video should help with that problem. Later and bye.